Well, hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. It is so good to have you with us, and these elephants are loving life this afternoon as they cool down at the Waterhole. My name is Amy, and I will be with you for the show today. It's actually my last Waterhole show for a little while. Not sure exactly when I'll be back, probably sometime in January. But I'm glad I get to share it with you all. And we've had a wonderful few days here this week across the different locations. And remember that this is a live and interactive show. So I'd love to hear from you. This hippo has been giving these elephants some attitude, I think. For those of you who don't know, there's been a hippo in this waterhole for a while. And I think these may be the three bulls that were here yesterday. I'm not sure. But just to finish off that, you can send through your comments and questions to me on the Wild Earth website or the app. You can also join the conversation on X. Just remember to use the hashtag WildEarth. Or you can also chat in the YouTube chat stream using @FC if you'd like to make sure that your comments and questions come directly through to me. Good on the hippo for being quite stubborn there, not being pushed out by these leaves. We've seen it before, probably a different hippo earlier this year, but some herds come by and there's a younger bull with them, and sometimes they do push the hippo out of the water completely, but they seem to be finished with their swim for the afternoon. Very wise elephants. It is unbelievably hot in the low belt today. 40 degrees plus. Ryan, hello. You'd like to know why the cats are also not playing in the water. So cats don't really like water. For the most part, they're actually quite, I suppose they try and avoid it. And I think that has to do with their fur. Damp fur is probably not that good for them. They don't enjoy the feeling of it. It also might, you spend damp fur with the heat. That's not a really good thing for bacteria and hygiene purposes. But I don't think that they don't enjoy it. And a big part of what they need to do is stay very, very clean in order to not smell very strongly. If I think of hyenas and wild dogs who do enjoy mud wallowing and splashing around in the water, they couldn't care less about their scent. In fact, they have very, very strong smells associated with them. So if I correlate that back to the animals that we don't see getting into the water, they generally like leopards and lions and other small cats as well. Try to keep themselves nice and clean and not smelly whatsoever, so that they can remain undetected to help them successfully. Fuzzy Dunlop, it is a pool party on a Thursday, and I don't think it's the last pool party that we're going to see today, with it being so hot. Catherine, you say it's -3 degrees where you are. You would love to swap. Well, I'd love to swap. So I guess, if we could, I'd love to swap with you. But as humans, we are funny creatures in that we always want the opposite of what we currently have. And I think any extreme, though, is never comfortable and we never enjoy it. We all would like just mild weather. Kit West, you say hi from Edgewood in Maryland. I think that's in the United States. So, a very warm welcome, literally and figuratively, to you, Kit. I think this hippo must be so happy when it has its waterhole back to itself. Ah, another elephant's arrived. Time to cool down. Kid hippos can stay underwater for around 5 minutes. Sometimes I think even a little bit longer than that if they want to. So they can definitely hold their breath for a reasonably long period. And I think we'll have a steady stream of elephants here at this day coming to cool down. That must feel so nice for them. I hope this elephant comes for a swim, but maybe it's intimidated by the hippo and is just going to splash and move off. Well, as this elephant has finished with its cooling off, it's now headed to the bushes in the surrounding area, just like the other ones, I suppose, and starting to feed a bit, but probably will also find a nice shady spot and rest out the heat. Can hear some oxpeckers as well. I wonder if there's anything else around. Sometimes when we hear oxpeckers, we think, well, what animal is coming that they would be associated with? Elephants is not one of them. They don't get any joy from hanging around ellies. They don't tolerate them sitting on them. So it could be something like a giraffe, impala, zebras, anything like that. They could also be coming to the hippo. They do sometimes like to sit on hippos. Maybe they're just coming to the water to also cool down. Those are Europe eaters calling now. That is a fork-tailed drongo that's flying there and drinking. Oh, lots of birds all of a sudden. That looks like a laughing dove. Also coming down for a drink. Ryan, I completely agree with you. I know jaguars that are found in South America have extraordinary swimming abilities, and it's not that the cats can't swim. I think they are capable of it, but I think the habitat that the jaguar lives in means that it's gotten very comfortable with water, and in order to survive, it's had to do that. Whereas where we find leopards and lions, for example, in Africa at least, for the most part, in these sort of savanna habitats, there's enough dry land and their prey spends enough time around the dry land to not have to um, worry too much about getting into or spending time in water. I mean, tigers also, from what I've seen, move through water, and there's quite a lot of water around their habitat as well. And it's not that leopards and lions don't ever cross rivers and things like that, but they don't come and use the water as a cooling down mechanism very, very often. So happy these Ellies have stuck around so we can watch them feeding. I thought they were going to disappear completely quite quickly. And these elephants are now enjoying such beautiful green leaves, not really having to eat too much bark anymore, or roots, or dried grass. In fact, since being out now in summer, I haven't seen one doing any bark stripping whatsoever. Well, we've actually had a wonderful start here at Rosie's Pan, but now it's time to head over to Tembi. Well, the impalas here are always so beautiful, and I'm loving spending time here now that they have their little ones. There's a little baby impala. You can see there are at least two males around as well with the horns. The female impalas don't have horns, and only one lamb in the picture at the moment, but I know there are a ton around. Pretty much all the females, barring this one here on the left hand side, she's still looking heavily pregnant. But most of the females now have given birth. Oh, those males are doing grooming. Interesting. Such an important part of what they do. A little bit of bonding there. And all the animals are very wise to be in the shade today. I don't know why that little one's deciding to be in the sun, but anyway. Oh, is that our little floppy-eared lamb? It's always tricky to tell because sometimes they do push their ears down like that. But yeah, at Tembi, we have at least one. I think there might have been two of them. Their ears are sort of downward facing rather than side and upright. It is actually rather cute. Catherine, you are so right, and I think everyone will agree with you who's been following um, the impala lambing season quite closely here at Wild Earth, is that those babies are growing very quickly. And we can even compare some that were born in mid to sort of around mid-November to the ones that were born more recently in early December, and you can clearly see how quickly they grow just within about 2 to 3 weeks difference. And that is a different type of antelope. That is an Inyala, somewhat similar to an impala at a distance, but very clear with those white stripes coming down the side. Yes, Rosie, I think we all love to see babies survive. Of course, I think as humans we have that natural inclination to want everything to live and thrive, but that is not the case. And Lady Macbeth, as you say, um, 50% mortality rate for impala lambs on average. So only half, basically, what that means is only half of what is born in a season will actually reach about a year old plus. So it's one that yeah, 50%. I mean, that's, like you say, actually rather good for antelope. And it's why they do have a breeding season so that all those little ones are born at the same time. And therefore, yes, it does make an easy meal, as we saw on our sunsets of yesterday, for something like wild dogs to eat. But, and leopards, and I suppose lions, oof, maybe, but it's a bit small. Um, anyway, basically predators to hunt those baby impalas, which is a good time for them, easy meal. But a lot of them do survive because the predators can only eat so much, and that ensures a healthy population for these impalas. Smeraldo, yes, they are all this orangey color except for the male Inyalas. If you're referring to the Inyalas, the mature male Inyalas have a darker coat. Oh, let's head over to Rosie's. Okay, we've got an elephant that's decided that the hippo needs to move. I can see that. Apparently, it was trying to chase it out. Let's watch and see what happens. I know we were all hoping they would be peaceful here, but an elephant is a lot bigger than a hippo. And if they aren't comfortable with it in the water, the elephant is definitely going to win. As long as the hippo stays out its way, it should finish off at the water hole and the hippo can come back in. Well, the hippo got back in without the elephant giving it too much of a hard time. Let's see what happens because it spotted him. That elephant just stuck its head under the water with its bum in the air. That is so funny. Oh, here it goes again. Ooh. The elephant isn't being extremely aggressive towards it. It just sort of really like having it in there, and it knows that it's bigger. It's just asserting itself and chasing it out, really. I know, Penelope, we do feel sorry for the hippo, don't we? But how cool to watch two of Africa's giants together here at the waterhole. You can be sure that the hippo will be back. It's just hanging around there until this elephant's done. Mercedes, yes, the water hog strikes again. Oh, there's also a baboon in the distance moving through. But it's funny how each elephant is different. So the other three, I'm not sure if this particular bull was part of the three when we started the show, but the hippo managed to stay in the water with them. This one got a bee in his bonnet and decided that no, I don't like the idea of you in here. These two are having the best time now. We do love an Eddie pool party. Oh my goodness. Thought it was going to do a handstand. And these two are also playing with each other in the water. That is just so lovely. I know they can be a little bit of bullies, especially with the one that pushed out the hippo, but they can also be so wonderful. And just look at these two here. Two young boys having fun at the waterhole. Sparse baboons are very common. We see them all over. Oh, Sherbet, shame. I didn't think the hippo would try come back so quickly, but look how quickly he's dried out just because of the heat today. I do feel sorry for it. It just looks so sad. Like, I just want some water, guys. Please. I'm not going to bother you. It's like it's been shunned. In South Africa, we say a lot of ach shames. And this is one of those moments, I think many of you watching who understand that term would be saying, ach, shame. It's like it's uninvited to the party. Oh, that makes me even feel more sad for it. I know, Ryan, these bulls are being bullies. I mean, we can anthropomorphize here as much as we want to, but they are just have this instinctual thing. Elephants are very sensitive, and at this moment, these bulls are, of course, they have testosterone, and although they're not territorial animals, they do assert themselves in certain circumstances. Look how sneaky this hippo's being. Just sit down there now. Don't try and go closer. Look, no one needs to be concerned. A hippo going to die immediately out the water or anything like that. It's going to be fine. Even if it's out the water for a while, even in such extreme heat. But the water's its happy place. That's where it feels comfortable. Yeah, Rosie, that's exactly what I was just touching on now. It can be a good few hours. It's not that all of a sudden that he's just going to dry up and fall over. He's got a lot of melanin in that skin, so even though they're quite pink in parts, look how dark it actually is. But what an odd animal. Look how tiny those little legs are for such a huge body. I had a dog named Sandy, a Jack Russell, that just looked exactly like a hippo, like this. Tiny little legs, a massive round body, and a little tail at the tip. Catherine, you're right. The hippo is not giving up. And it slowly creeps forward inch by inch. Oh, a third elephant has joined the pool party. Maybe they'll be so distracted. Oh, that bull, I feel, has already spotted this hippo. This is quite the drama that we have unfolding here this afternoon. Well, it's made it back in. Let's see how long it lasts. Well, it looks like this hippo is finally being left in peace now. Very brave hippo, though, I must say. If there were three elephant bulls in a waterhole, I don't think I'd be going anywhere near them. But he didn't seem too worried. And just like that, the pool party for the elephants is over. Yes, Rosie, we were all worried together from different parts of the world, very concerned for a hippo. Do apologize for that noise, everyone. I think it is a little bit windy, and there may be something that's just flapping near the camera there, part of the attachments or equipment that has to do with the camera setup. Ooh, it's time for a bub bub against that tree. That is the spot. Esmeralda, you say that the tension between the elephants and the hippo remind you of siblings over who gets what. I suppose everyone has their own connection to what we just saw, but it was very relatable. And I'm very happy that this hippo is back in the water now. Well, now that that has all settled down, let's head back over to Tembi. The impalas are, of course, still here and very wisely, for the most part, in the shade. And just before we left for that elephant hippo interaction, I was just explaining about the coloration for the nyalas being darker in the males. If the question that was asked was referring about the impalas, both male and female stay that orange color their whole life. It doesn't change. Bree, you also asked the question as to whether impalas and inyalas could interbreed, and no, they could not. So their genetics are very, very different taxonomically, which is basically the way science has divided up these animals based on a whole bunch of different factors and commonalities and things that they have. Impalas and Inyalas are in completely different groups, with Inyalas belonging to the spiraled horn family, along with kudus and earlants and bushbuck, whereas Impalas actually stand completely alone. They are the only species in their genus. And so if they did mate, a male and a female, it just would be unsuccessful. Genetics is like a lock and a key, and you need a specific key to unlock the lock to make it work. And so the Impala's genes and the Nyala's genes just could never bond and work together. Who's directing us and says that Inyala looks very nervous. It does, very cautious. There may be a crocodile lurking. And that's the male Inyala I was talking about. So you can see how different it is in appearance to the female we were looking at earlier. Goodness me, it really is. Imagine a crocodile just jumps out. That would be unbelievable. Vivian, I haven't seen a hippo at Tembe here before. Um, so I can't say that there definitely isn't. They may be on the property just in a different location, but I haven't seen them in this waterhole myself. Well, as this elephant arrives, yeah, let's head back over to Rosie's where another elephant is arriving. Hopefully, this one isn't as bothered by the hippo. Starbuck, you want to know if Eddies often bully hippos. So I wouldn't say it's something that happens all the time, but this particular location is where we see it quite often. And yes, I would say I have seen before at other waterholes where hippos have been a bit too close and the elephant is sort of like, I'm not comfortable with this distance. It's a bit close for me. And then pushes it off. Actually looks like this elephant is very calm here in comparison to the others that have passed through. Very happy that we can have a peaceful scene here for a change from earlier. I wonder if it is going to decide to go for a swim. It must be very tempting when you are so hot. And it's amazing how, I mean, we've almost got to an hour and a half through the show, and we've just had elephants here constantly, as well as this flock of European bee eaters that keeps coming past that we can hear. I love their call. Well, I'm glad there wasn't too much drama with this elephant coming for its. Well, right now it's fixing. It's not doing too much, but it did come to cool off. Let's head back over to Tembi. Ah, it looks like another elephant bull. I think the one we saw coming down earlier has cooled off. And look, he is much larger. You can just see the size of that body is huge. It looks like he actually went for a swim because from top to bottom he's covered. Oh no, no, he just threw because look, his backside is actually still dry. So he did a very good job at throwing water on himself. Looks like that elephant's making the impalas move now. Not so much bullying them though, but more just has a path and wants to walk on it. I'm sure they'll move back quite quickly to that area. He's coming to have a bit of a rub on this tree. And often elephants will do this. It's a lovely thing for them to be able to sort of scratch, maybe get off any bits that maybe were bothering them. They also have parasites that can be on their skin or maybe an itchy tick here or there. And the moisture together with the sort of sandy soil that is on them provides a little bit of a sort of an exfoliation scrub when they rub up against a tree. Well, he is moving off, finished off with his cool down and a bit of a scratch and a rub too. I don't think that'll be the last elephant that is seen at Tembe today, though. All right. Well, we've had so much happening between Rosie's and here that we haven't had time for anywhere else. Let's head over to Tao. Well, it is just that kind of elephant day. Here's another bull that's come for a drink, as well as a flock of Egyptian geese near the water. Penelope, I think we all agree with you. We love watching elephants as well. And no matter what they're doing, even if they're just resting, it's always just lovely to know that we can look at them doing whatever it is they're doing. Ooh, apparently the elephants are going back to the waterhole at Rosie's, so let's head back over there. Ooh, okay. Well, to be honest, I mean, even if you come for a swim, I don't know if these are the exact same elephants, but if they are, it's like me. When you have a swim, you go out, lie in the sun for a bit, and next thing you need to swim again. So I can understand why they keep coming back on a 40 plus degree Celsius day. feel like this hippo is like an ostrich with its head under the water. Ignorance is bliss. Ooh, they are getting closer. And quite honestly, 4 elephants and a hippo in a waterhole sounds like the beginning of a joke. 4 elephants and a hippo enter a waterhole. Ah, now the hippo's being disturbed. Actually, the elephants are just playing, not really purposefully chasing him. Bulls love to do that, climb on each other's backs in the water. Mindy, definitely. This hippo has no choice but to be patient. If it storms at the elephants, I think they'll laugh at him. That one's just resting its head. Another one's bum. It's quite funny. I'm surprised how close the hippo stayed, though. I mean, if I was it, I would really push right to the side, be out of their way, because it just is setting yourself up to basically the chance of them coming to chase you is higher, the closer you are. Looks like these boys are finishing off with their cooling down. Surprised we haven't seen any herds come through just yet. Oh, that one was having one last go before it moves off. I did think the hippo was a bit close, though. It sort of gradually drifted back into the middle. There we go. Hippo back to having its own waterhole. That just looks like some elephant poop that's drifting. Oh, there's a little birdie that's come down to drink there. I wonder if that's a firefinch. Just above the hippo to the right on that little rock. Sheila, we are loving some birding here, and all of a sudden we've had quite a variety. Starlings, doves, there's even a grey go-away bird there now drinking. Penelope, indeed. Rosie's gets the prize for today with the big sighting. Definitely been where all the action has been happening. Can hear magpie shrike. Well, I've loved a little bit of birding. Let's head over to Juma. Ah, the elephants are arriving. I'm not surprised in this heat that they're coming to down. We just need Gowrie Dam, which is this waterhole, to fill up with some good rain, and then we'll have some swimming elephants as well during the show. But that will probably only happen towards the end of January, February, when the really big rains come. First priority is definitely to splash with mud and cool down, after which I'm sure they'll move over to the pan that is just in front for a clean drink of water. Valerie, they sure have been the order of the day. Elephants have been everywhere. And it has been a lovely show to finish off my waterhole shows for the year, everyone. Thank you so much. Oh, there's a saddleboard stalk. That's lovely. Thank you all for just being such wonderful viewers and for all your comments and questions, not only today, but throughout all the shows that I've done this year. And it has been an amazing year of waterholes. We've had some amazing sightings together. The Waterhole Show will be back, though, of course, tomorrow and right on every day until the end of the year and into the new year. So please make sure you continue to join us as we see what comes down to the waterhole. But we have come to the end of the show, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. And we will be out on drive this afternoon at 4 o'clock Central African time. So make sure that you join us then for that. But from myself and the rest of the team here, thank you for joining us. It's goodbye for now.